Hello humans and animals alike, this is Dylus, and welcome back to Final Fantasy Restored. So we just took a trip around Elfheim to see what it is that they need us to do, and yeah, we have to wake up the prince, but in order to do so, we're gonna have to go through a particularly difficult dungeon called the Marsh Cave, and in order for us to be prepared for it, we're going to need to grind for a lot of gil to help us to prepare, and in the meantime we would get some experience as well. We'll definitely want to be like around level 7, at least level 7, before we should attempt the Marsh Cave. Ideally level 8. And of course, we're going to need a lot of money too. So, this episode is basically just going to be about grinding for the stuff you need. So, the first place we can go to grind for gil is on our very own ship, actually. There is a secret that you can unlock by holding the A button and mashing the B button. It opens up a slider puzzle. So, if you want like a break from fighting monsters all the time, then you can go ahead and try out this slider puzzle. Now, if you're playing any of the remakes of Final Fantasy I, the rewards for the slider puzzle are actually really, really good depending on how fast you can solve this. So, if you'll excuse me, since I initiated this, I am just going to finish this slider puzzle. You can always quit by pressing the B button, I think. But I'm just gonna do this. Now, certainly it's no triple triad, but if you are planning to do the slider puzzle, a tip you can do, a strategy I particularly find effective is when you line them up, put 1 and 2 where they are, then you try to put 4 in this position and then 3 underneath so that you can slide the 4 onto this corner and put the 3 up there. Same with 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then you want to make 9 and 13 aligned like this on the bottom, so you can put 9 up here and 13 down there. Then you want to make sure 10 and 14 are aligned. Just like that. And then everything else is easy right there. Now, for winning the slider puzzle, you are rewarded a free 100 gil. Now, 100 gil isn't very much when we have to spend thousands on it for spells, and especially if you're going for the higher end spells and the mithril swords in the original NES version. So, you may not want to do this. A much better way to grind for gil is by fighting enemies, of course. Particularly in the sea. Okay, well, sharks aren't actually that great of a source of gil. Not to mention they're pretty strong. I think it would be best if I run from them, actually. They do provide good experience, though. I'm actually just going to rest at the inn right now, so I can cast more magic. I'm somewhat fine on HP, but you have to worry about magic. Let's see, I currently have 6 potions, 3 antidotes, a sleep sack, and a tent. That is totally fine. Alright, so we're just going to cruise around the sea, and, let's see. Oh, well, wait, no. There's one particular enemy that I would like to encounter. They're called Buccaneers, or Kaizokus in the original localization. If you can fight those guys in groups, they actually yield a ton of gil upon being defeated. You'll want to try to encounter those and defeat them. Of course, it's no guarantee. They're not the most common enemies in the sea. Oh, come on. It's just one big eye. Just one! Ah! There we go. Cyrus with the dagger. Alright, so I'm just going to cruise around in the Aldine Sea, and I'll meet up with you whenever I encounter those Buccaneers, so I'll be right back. Oh, well, I guess we've encountered a new enemy, the Sahagan Chief. These, of course, are stronger than the regular Sahagans. Thankfully, there's only one when you encounter them in the sea, so they shouldn't be too bad. I'm gonna cast Protect on Jed, and you want to make it a habit to cast Dark on the enemies in the sea, because once again, they're highly evasive. Well, the shark didn't get affected, unfortunately. That's probably the bigger threat, honestly. I guess we'll just take care of the Sahagan Chief. Ow! Cure just in case. Do I want to cast Thunder? Maybe so. Ah, come on. There we go. 171 gil. Not too shabby. Alright, let's see if I can encounter those Buccaneers now. Aha! There they are! Now, you can encounter them up to groups of 4, I believe. I've encountered 2, which is not the best, but you take what you can get. Now, the Buccaneers are not weak to lightning, unlike the other sea creatures we face. That doesn't mean you shouldn't cast Dark, though. Ah, it didn't work! Oh, nice going. Might as well. They're not resistant to fire either. The sea creatures would be resistant to fire because, you know, they're in the sea. Now look at that, just 2 of those guys, and we got 240 gil from them. Alright, so I'm just gonna go fight a lot of the sea creatures until we are, yeah, until we're level 5. It's gonna take a while, but in the meantime, you want to stay close to Cornelia. Oh, hello, guys! Looks like the other 2 are here. I guess, just make work on one of them. Alright, Cyrus is all out of magic, so he has to rely on physical attacks now. Okay, I know I did, like, tease in the previous episode that one of your characters can deal multiple hits. Well, the fighter can actually achieve this the earliest. So, how the multiple hits thing works is that it depends on your accuracy. For every 32 accuracy, you will gain an additional hit per turn. So, whenever Jed has 32 accuracy or more, he will be able to deal 2 hits per turn. When he has 64 later down the line, he will be able to hit 3 times, and so on and so forth. The fighter can achieve this the earliest. I think just being level 4 or 5 can result in 2 hits, and it especially helps when he has access to some really good weapons, because weapons not only increase attack power, they also increase accuracy. So keep that in mind. Anyway, you want to stay close to Cornelia because they offer the cheapest service at the inn. So that way, if you are low on HP and MP, it's a fairly cheap stay, and you can just go out to sea again and kill more sea creatures. Those poor guys! But I guess it is for the good of the world. Alright, with all that said, see you till I'm level 5. Turns out I was wrong with there being only one Sahagan chief in the sea. I just encountered 2. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. We've just reached level 5 now. Now, there's actually something that I really want to bring up when it comes to the monk in particular. Thing is, I actually took Bruno's leather armor off because the thing about the monk is that their defense is equal to their level. So, at this point, putting on the leather armor, yeah, it's only going to slow him down, and now that he's level 5, it actually does worse for him. So, at this point, you want to keep the armor off. But, if you're playing the original NES version, well, guess what? There's another bug. In the original NES version, the defense for the monk doesn't actually get updated until you equip the armor and de-equip it. And then the defense would be updated. So, if you have a monk on your team, do not forget to do this. I'm not sure if it updates automatically in the next battle. I don't know for sure, but just bear that in mind. Anyway, the grinding session took about 20 minutes. I guess I would say that, though I actually did use the speed up function on the emulator. It helps, okay? If I didn't have the speed up function, I could take it anyway. I mean, I beat the original Dragon Quest without a speed up button. So now I have 2,461 gil. I can use this money to buy a few spells. There's actually a spell I totally forgot to take note of in the previous episode. And that spell is Slow. I did mention it's a pretty important spell to get in, well, the previous few episodes, actually. But, yeah, you definitely want to get it now. Slow can be bought in the town of Provoca. So, I'm just gonna go get that right now. Oh, it's a black magic spell. There are some Final Fantasy games that make Slow a white magic spell, but in this game it's a black magic spell. You know what, while I'm here, I might as well get Blizzard as well. Okay. Now, I don't really have enough magic to make it to Elfheim safely, so I'm gonna go to Cornelia, rest at the inn, and then I'm gonna go to Elfheim to buy, Fyra. Okay, now let's go to Elfheim. Oh, by the way, you are free to grind for monsters in Elfheim as well. They actually give pretty good experience. The problem is, though, you can run into enemies that can poison you, so I wouldn't really recommend it. Okay, let us get, yeah, Fyra. Now, my goal now is to acquire 1,500 gil again, and with that I would get Diara, and then I'm going to show you something special. I think Final Fantasy veterans will know exactly what I'm talking about with this one. Oh, well actually these are the perfect enemies. Ogres and Gigasworms. You know what? Since we're at full health, and I'll just be fighting enemies in the sea anyway, let's test out Fyra, why don't we? terminated. Not bad, huh? 80 experience for everyone and 225 gil. Alright, so I'm gonna be out in the open sea once again, and I'll be right back once I am able to acquire Diara. Oh, I smell money! Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I got plenty of money, and I did play a slider puzzle game just because. Oh, hello. Would you guys like another round of Fire? Well, here you go! Oh, that didn't do that much to the ogre. But that's alright, the Gigas Worms are done for. Come on, we can do it. There we go. 225 gil. Not bad at all. Okay. And now for Diara. Whew! Okay. Let's also look at our items. Yeah, I think I'm gonna buy a few sleep sacks, too. But, I'm gonna do that in Provoca, actually. Alright, here we are. You know what? I'm feeling daring. Let's encounter one more. Okay, everybody's pretty much out of juice now. Now it's time to rest in the Provoca Inn, and then we'll begin the process of basically one of the most infamous bugs in Final Fantasy I. Well, I guess you could call it a bug, but it could also be called a feature. Alright, first off, how long have I been recording? 26 minutes?! Oh gosh, I gotta be quick about this. Alrighty then. Oh, also I forgot to buy some items. Crud. Where's the item shop? Down here? Here it is. Okay. Gonna buy a few sleep sacks and some more antidotes, because on the way of where I want to go, well, there are gonna be some enemies that will poison. Alright, so what we want to do is go east of Provoca. Hello, ogre. Yeah, fire spell. Wouldn't hurt. I like how I'm cutting some battles out, and, yeah, I don't know. I'm silly. There we go. Had to use 2 level 1 spell charges, but that's alright, I guess. Oh, hello, Goblin Guards! Long time no see! I think we've become powerful enough to the point where every one of our members can take them down individually. Alright. We want to go up north here. Alright, and here we are. The land of greatness. Alright, so you see this peninsula over here? There is actually, well, I guess it's not so much of a bug as it is an oversight in the programming. So, when you're on the tip of this peninsula... Okay, well, first let me save by going in a tent. I made several mistakes. Oopsie daisies. Whatever. Okay, so you see this peninsula here? Alright, so what this peninsula does is, well, it sticks out enough so that it goes to the northern continent, essentially. Well, it doesn't actually connect to the northern continent, but it actually... What am I trying to say? It actually has the same enemy domain as the continent up north, meaning that you can actually run into enemies far stronger than you normally would have to fight, meaning more experience and gil yields. However, here's the disappointing thing. In Final Fantasy Restored, this so-called Peninsula of Power has been removed. Or rather, it has been shortened, I think. So, what I'm going to do is, I am going to save state here, and then I am going to close off Final Fantasy Restored, and then load up the original game using that save state, so I can show you the full power of the Peninsula of Power. So, I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, if you want proof that this is the original Final Fantasy, here you are. There's the, old font, and, all my items are messed up now. The thing about Final Fantasy Restored is that it actually moves up your healing potions so that it's on the first slot, always on the first slot of the item menu. Otherwise, it's bumped down into whatever order you have bought the heal potions. Also, for your information, the sleeping bags are called tents, and the tents are called cabins. The cottages would be called houses. And also, I seem to have completely lost all my antidotes. So, such is the case of importing your save data between hacks. Also, the names are messed up too. They're empty spaces now, and they're just going to result in some garbage data being displayed, but nothing to really hinder our progress. So, as you can see, the peninsula just got longer. So, with that, we can now enter territory that we're not supposed to even go to. Now, just to make sure you have Harm 2 and Fire 2, or Diara and Fyra. They will seriously help against the enemies that you want to take down. And those enemies are called Zombles, or Zombie Minotaurs. Unfortunately, I ran into some giants, or Hillgigases, and these guys are absolutely mean. You absolutely want to run away from them as fast as you can. That was a weak heal. Alright, so it's these 4 squares that will have these stronger enemies. Oh no. Well, I think this is game over. Frostwolves are good enemies to fight, but as you can see, they are extremely dangerous. Their frost attack can basically one-hit KO all of your party. Alright, well, we're back here. Can I please get the enemies that I want? Ah, yes, here we are, the Zombles, or Zombie Minotaurs as they're really called. Now, if you have a fighter with you, they could easily take the pain of these guys, but unfortunately I chose not to have a fighter. However, that's not really going to stop me. Especially if we have good evasion. Ow! Oh wow, none of them actually died. That's bad. That's really, really bad. Fog? And fire? Fog is Protect, by the way. Not to be confused with Final Fantasy II's Fog. We can do this! We can absolutely do this! Yes! We did it! Woohoo! As you can see, from defeating just 2 zombie minotaurs, we get 525 experience and 2100 gil. And that already gives us a level up. This is a great place to just power level for the game. Early in the game, at least. Now, of course you're gonna have to, like, try to go back, but that is precisely why we have, well, sleep sacks. I won't even save. So then what you do from there is you take your experience and gold, you spend it on your spells and equipment that you need, and you just repeat this process over and over again until you have what is happy for you. What makes you happy. Now, this trick, I did say this bug could also be a feature, because this Peninsula of Power is present in every single official version of Final Fantasy 1. Well, that is except for the recently released Pixel Remaster. Yeah, it's a pretty big shame, unfortunately. So, yeah, if you're playing the original version, the PlayStation version, Game Boy Advance, PSP, whatever, so long as it's not the Pixel Remaster, you have free access to the Peninsula of Power and just power level your characters early on. So, with all that said, that is every single grinding strategy that there is for Final Fantasy 1 at this point in the game. There's also, like, other glitches you could do in the PSP version, but I won't really go into that. So, next time on Final Fantasy Restored, we will finally be on our way to rescue the prince from his eternal slumber. With all that said, this is Stylus signing off.